How we doing, team? And welcome back to a brand new episode of the Simply Podcast. Today, I am joined by, again, two people. My co-host today, again, is Staten15. How are we, Jim?
I'm tired, mate, but I'm good. I'm happy to be here as always.
Nice to meet you, tired. And then we're also we're also joined by today's special guest, none other than Axoma. How are we, Ax?
I'm doing good. What did you mean by special there, though? We're getting off to a bad start.
Spectacular is what I meant. Spectacular, guys.
You saved it. Yeah.
Well done. No, pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on, of course.
Not a problem at all. After I had Sam on, I was like, I've got to have Axoma. He speaks so highly of you that I just like, I've got to have him on as well. I've got to find out more about Ax. Yeah, you actually do. It's like there's a special kind of romance there, isn't there?
Well, I don't want to go into it too early. Yeah, maybe later on. But there's that type of special we could talk about. Yes.
Oh yeah, special. Right, well, team, if you are new to the podcast and you're watching YouTube, make sure that you do subscribe. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, do follow the podcast as well. It does all help out massively. And also, if you're on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Ax. I'm sure you'll all be absolutely in love with him by the end of the podcast. That I'm absolutely sure of. But yes, without further ado, we're going to crack straight into this, and we're going to find out more about Axoma. We're going to really dive into what makes him such a great content creator. Someone that's been around in the scene for a very long time. In fact, you've been full-time content creator for a while now, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So I think I'm really bad at properly keeping track of dates and when the first stream was and when this happened, when that happened. But I think it's coming up near 4 years now. It would be full time. But we say full time. It's just because I wasn't. It started out as full time, and I didn't even mean it to be full time though. I quit a job with the full intention of finding another job, but in the meantime, I was just streaming loads, and then I was like, you know what, this is absolutely amazing, and I just kind of stuck at it. It was not like a deliberate plan or anything like that.
That's mad. It's just naturally falling to you, like a duck on water.
It was. I mean, I don't know what. I guess you need a little bit of luck. I would say the luck for me is just the people that found my stream. At the time, literally, I started out playing Battlefield 1 on stream.
Oh.
And I was just playing it. There was a few people did come in here and there, and it was I enjoyed it. But then one of those people was like, "Oh, have you ever played Pro Clubs on stream?" And I was like, "Oh, I love Pro Clubs. Play it with my mates all the time. Sure, let's try it on stream." And then from there, the rest is history. People found the stream. Obviously, Sam raided. He brought his community over, and just got really lucky in that sense.
Was that the first time you met for a raid?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he raided me. I think it was. There's one of my mods at the minute. He was in Sam's. I can't remember actually if he said that he found Sam first or not. But the way I remember it is that he was in Sam's, and a Pegolo told Sam to raid me. I think because I was on clubs. I think it was something like that. And then that's from there. We just kind of. We've never left each other's side.
Blossomed together.
Oh, it is mad. There is genuinely a really good connection between you and Sam. Obviously, you have met each other in person as well. Obviously, who's taller out of the two of you?
Well, even if you take away my hair, I think I am just very, very slightly. But Sam's a tall boy as well.
How tall are you?
About 6'2".
Oh, same.
Oh, wow. We all have a 6'2".
Like bowling pins. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm going to stay quiet.
We met in person, and the way that we measured up against each other was we slept in the same bed. So that's how
just casually spinning,
Yeah, that's how we saw, who was slightly bigger, height wise only.
Nothing else.
Nothing
right.
else.
Get your mind up the gutter, everyone. Nothing else.
Honestly, this is a PG podcast, isn't
it? What else are you?
Sorry, what?
How tall are you?
Anyway, so we're gonna go. I'm 5'6", if I'm being generous to myself. I'm really 5'5". I'm just under 5'6", but I put my hair up a little bit to kind of get that extra
Yeah.
inch, because every inch counts.
Yeah.
So
again in height.
yeah.
Height Sorry, I do this to most things I'm on. I turn them in a weird way. Like, anyway, come on. Screw my head on here. Turning it all sexual.
Yeah. Wait, what? Anyway, so so obviously looking at kind of content creation and stuff like that, what kind of things actually got you into it in the first one? What made you press start streaming or recording for the very first time? What made you want to do that?
It was like something that happened like really fast. Like, I was just basically the job I was working, I wasn't really enjoying it. And I played games a lot. Like I said, I played a lot of clubs before I even streamed, like with mates and stuff. And one of them just literally mentioned Twitch, and it was something I'd heard of, but I was like, oh, I doubt I'd like watching streams and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just go on, make an account and stuff. And for a while, like, I made an account ages ago, checked out some streams, and I was like, oh, I can't really get into it because I was super, super busy, to be fair. But when things like dipped down, I think it was like near, it must have been near Christmas or something, had time off, and like I properly started watching people. And one of the first people I watched was Tim the Tapman, to be fair. And I think he sold it to me in about 2 streams. Is just the way that he was on stream, like he was laughing, joking. Like, he had obviously loads of people in, which is not what I expected straight away, of course. But like, he had loads of people in. I just thought that looks like incredible. So about a month or so later, after finding Tim the Tapman, I gave it a shot myself. Like, it was really that quick. I was like, oh, I will need to try this, and I did. And then
I love the fact you didn't start with FIFA. Like, it was.
I played FIFA. What I did before I started streaming. In fairness, you can't find any of it now. I think I deleted it a long time ago. But I used to upload like career mode videos on YouTube.
Oh, I would have loved to watch them. I would have loved it.
But it was actually class. I did a Morecambe career mode. Right, it was from the bottom to the top on the hardest difficulty, of course. And I could only use the youth players or free agents. That was my thing. And like, I did it, and like some of the episodes, like the first few episodes, actually got like a few thousand views and stuff, which is quite nice.
Nice.
I played a lot of career mode at the time, and yeah, like Battlefield. I love Battlefield 1, so I just started with that because I thought, oh, that's a more streamable game rather than sitting watching me play career mode. So started there. But the irony is, I don't really play any FPSs right now. I really want to, but there's nothing that.
I see. I struggle with like first person shooters, of any shooters, to be honest. I've just not got that hand-eye coordination really for it. I'm not quick reactions.
It's tough, like, because I'm not even claiming to be any good at them. There's something about an FPS, like I love like the idea of it, but when I come down to playing any of them now, I'm just a bit like, I don't know. They don't buzz me like they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim, what's your opinion on some of the FPSs? Like, obviously you like Valorant, but what other ones are you liking at the moment?
Nothing really. I haven't touched an FPS for a very long time. Like, I've mainly been playing like F1 or FIFA or stuff like that. I'm waiting for that next FPS to come out. It's like everyone like jumps on again, like a Fortnite, like Apex when it first came out. I'm waiting for that next game to come out where like, everyone's jumped on it. Yeah, I can't say yeah. But
Yeah.
That is part of it, though. I feel like, especially like before streaming and stuff, I think I'd play FPSs just like because I felt like it, kind of thing. But also now, there's a big like, if everybody's on something, you're almost like, oh, I kind of want to be on it as well.
Exactly.
It's like, it is like, hype is definitely more of a thing, like more of an influence to me.
I was so disappointed when I got Halo and there was no Forge, because that was the main reason I got it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all right at Halo, but I'm not gonna like get highly ranked on it, especially when I'm killing my teammates sometimes. So Forge was one of the things that I was looking for, and then I was looking forward to streaming it and doing the kind of custom games and doing big custom lobbies. That was my massive appeal, and they still haven't released it. Like it's been
It's
out.
not far off, I don't think, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's far off now, but they've
Yeah.
killed the hype with it. There was
Yeah.
so much around it. Everyone was looking forward to that. I think back to the days when I was in school, come back home, load up Halo 3, jump on custom games with all my pals at the time. And honestly, you'd spend the entire night just doing that. Like those are the kind of things that got you into gaming in the first
Yeah,
place.
custom games on Halo were unbelievable. I got some, like same as you, just so many memories of that. And I
Definitely.
thought it was releasing as well. Like I think I said the same thing. Like before it came out, I was like, "Oh, Halo's like going to be like the perfect stream game. Like it's got casual, it's got ranked, and it will have like forged and custom games. It's like perfect for stream." But
Yeah.
yeah, it does seem like it's half a game at the minute, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's missing that key element that would make
Yeah.
that would lift it beyond a lot of other shooters right now.
Because at the minute it's just like, oh, you jump on, play some Halo multiplayer. It's like it's great if you enjoy that, but I don't know. It's
I
not for me.
enjoy it, but only when I've got a squad. But the problem is getting the
Yeah.
squad is difficult.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, most of the time, most I can get on at one point is really three people, and that's it.
Yeah.
Especially for the ranked mode, because you really don't want to go with a random. However, usually the random is better than me, so sometimes you do want to go at random. Especially, I mean, obviously, I tried my hand at Valorant as well as did yourself as well, Axe. I mean, how did you find Valorant?
I mean, I genuinely like Valorant. It's just one of those. For me, there's a fine line. Like really like Valorant, and I could just load it up and play it and probably have some fun. But it's like this thing in the back of my head that's just telling me it's like you're not going to play this game enough to ever get really good, so you might as well
Yeah.
play someone else. And it is an awful way to think because I could load up, like I said, and have fun on it, and that should be enough. But I don't know what it is. It's just like if I'm gonna put a lot of time into something, it's got to try and go somewhere with it. It's my own personal like problem, I guess.
Yeah, kind of barrier there at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's annoying in some ways. I feel like we're kind of bred the culture at the moment that games are moving away from being just fun. It's down
Yeah.
to being competitive. You have to be ranked. You have to be
Exactly. Yeah.
the best at a game. You can't just have fun at it. You can't just convey that fun as well, that you're enjoying the game. It's the fact you have to be unreal at it. Which is really frustrating. I mean, I know, Jim, you've tried to stream Valorant a few times, and it's kind of like one of those games where if you're not the absolute best at it, it's not the best game to stream. It's one that you play offline and you try and get as high ranked as you can, and the finishes are pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Well, from my
Well,
perspective, you're very good.
It's mainly playing offline because I couldn't handle playing it on stream. My PC would melt down, but I could play it now. But the problem is, the second you take like a week, 2 weeks off, like a really competitive game, you've fallen back like loads
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
So like, I've reached diamond now on Val. And if I go back on now, I feel like a gold or something. Like it's just pointless.
Yeah.
So a bit like Axe, I think I'm just wasting my time because I know I'm not gonna reach like Radiant or whatever. Like, so I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what's the fucking point? What's the point? We were told not to swear, and I've just
That's a
sworn.
fine, by the way. That's a fine.
Oh no!
It doesn't matter. Listen, I don't think I've listened to a non-explicit podcast for a while now. So
Never get me never again.
Make
I'm never
it-
coming back.
Should we just sit here and make the bleeping job for Spud like really difficult?
I do actually have a bleep button on my my Go XLR. I just very
Oh.
rarely use it because I'm just like,
It's hard, yeah, but that's hard to anticipate. Surely, like, how do you know if
Yeah.
someone's going to swear?
yeah, exactly.
It'd be after the fact. You'll say it, like, "Ooh," and then you're like, "Boop!" Oh, damn it!
One day.
Well, yeah, I think I've listed maybe like out of I think this will be the 15th episode that I've uploaded. I think maybe
Oh, Satan 15th.
Come on.
yeah, there you go.
It's meant to be.
I think there's maybe only been about 3 or 4, and I think they're all sport pods as well. That I've uploaded that I haven't had any swearing. But in fairness, like we've been doing. I mean, it's weird. It's like with content creation, I obviously started with gaming. Loving FIFA and stuff like that. I mean, in fairness, we spoke about just there about games that you had to be really competitive in. I feel like FIFA is actually probably the closest game to a game where you can have fun but not be the absolute best at, and
Yeah.
stream it. Like you likes of pro clubs, the likes of Ultimate Team stuff. People will still watch that, still be engaged with it, even if you're not the absolute best at. You're not a pro player. So but if I'm being honest, that and maybe Minecraft are the only games I can think of at the top of my head,
Mm.
and where you could play them and not have to be the absolute
Well,
best at.
Well, again, though, I think it does come down to, like you said, it's almost like the way that the streaming culture is just being bred. Because at the end of the day, you can load up anything you want and play it. Like, you don't have to be good at anything. Do you know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
just play your game if you enjoy playing it.
Hmm.
But it's that, like I say, it's that something in the back of your mind. At least for
Yeah.
me, it's always in the back of your mind. I think it's more so since streaming because you know people are watching,
Mhm.
so you want to be good. Like, because there's nothing worse than being absolutely tragic at the game and everyone in chat's just like, "Oh my god, you stink!" Blah, blah, blah. It's
Why
like,
are you still
oh,
playing
God.
this?
Like you don't. I don't actually care. Like genuinely, I don't actually care. Like if people are like, "Oh, you stink," but it's just, I don't know. It just adds on top. It's like, oh, you know what? You're
Yeah.
right.
I'm
In fact,
repetitive as
what
well.
am I doing? Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, fairness, I get it all the time. I'm not particularly great at any game. I'm all right at FIFA. I'm actually probably the game I'm best at is probably Halo, but no one plays Halo, so I can't be that good at it.
Just wait for Forge.
Yeah,
Forge actually will revive that game though. Like, genuinely.
Yeah, definitely.
It will. I'll personally, I will spend a lot of time remaking some of the custom games that I used to play. So that'll be something I'll definitely be doing. And I'll try and host some community events and stuff like that and see how we do with
Yeah,
them.
that'd be cool. Like, yeah, it's the possibilities are endless with that. Like, you can have so many different types of tournaments, or like you say, like the old custom games that were just fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, like there's so much possibility, and especially now, I think more so than ever before. Like when Forge comes out, because I don't know if you've seen, I've seen some things on Twitter of people that have got their hands on Forge early, and
Yeah,
some of the stuff they're doing already is mental. They're like
yeah.
recreating like scenes from other games, and like they're basically making other games in Halo,
Well,
and it's
the
mental.
beautiful thing about it right now is that we are on more powerful consoles than what we had when
Yeah, well, yeah,
Forge was
exactly. Yeah, I
last
just think
on.
it's going to be better than ever before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that with that they could put us significantly more into the map than what they were able to do with Reach. So the creativity element of it is going to go through the roof. I can't wait to see some of the stuff that people come up with. But it's gonna be, it will be unreal. It's just it's annoying because at one point, that like Halo was the best selling, most played game on Steam. I think it was at one point, and then it died almost as quickly as it got up there because if you didn't play the multiplayer, that was basically the campaign wasn't great. I saw
well, they
what,
even released the campaign. Like everyone was assuming the campaign would be co-op from the get-go, and even that wasn't at the start. So, like,
Mm.
I don't know. I think they did themselves dirty a little bit by just kind of
I mean,
releasing whatever they had
yeah,
at the time.
I think a lot of games have suffered with that a little bit. It's also been partially down to the COVID period as well. We saw a lot of
Yeah.
games being rushed. I mean, like Cyberpunk is the prime example of a game that's been rushed out, but because of the pressure of the fan base, obviously that game was
Yeah.
so glitchy, it was unbelievable. Obviously we've just seen the likes of the Harry Potter game also be
Yeah, it's
pushed
been
back.
pushed, doesn't it?
Yeah, be pushed back. I think it's for the third or fourth time now. It's been pushed back. It's now February that it's meant to come out. But the game looks unreal. It's just okay. They're trying their best not to rush a game where it's really buggy. And that's something that can obviously absolutely ruin a game. I mean, you look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was one of the games that was hyped up the most I'd ever seen for a while, and it completely crashed after that initial launch.
Dude, like I do get like the pressure from like fan bases and stuff being like, oh, you've been working on this game for blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
how is it not ready yet? Blah blah blah. But at the same time, like you say, Cyberpunk prime example.
Hmm.
They like I think I don't know if the devs or everything around it, the marketing team, whatever, are scared that people are going to forget about it, and that's why they just go, all right, we'll release it like as soon as we can. But if that's anything to go by, you're literally even if it takes like look GTA 6, Skyrim, like the new not Elder Scrolls, sorry, not new
Yeah.
Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls, like they're just there going, you know what, like we're just gonna make you wait as long as we want you to wait because as much hype as there is, doesn't matter if it's this year, next year, year after, it's gonna absolutely fly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might as well spend the extra time getting it right. Like certain games, like Cyberpunk, yeah, the hype was there for so long. I
Yeah.
think they were just scared of losing the hype, but I don't think they would have. I think if they'd taken even longer and longer and longer, made it
Mm.
playable, it
Yeah.
still would have done really, really well.
Yeah. 100%.
I think they just get scared, don't they?
Yeah. Well, take it away from games a little bit. We're going to move back onto to you, Axe. We're going to dive into you a little bit more.
Oh, again?
Yeah. Well, this podcast is for you. We want to find out more about Axe. What makes you
Yeah.
tick? So obviously we've just spoken loads about the kind of games that got you into it, into streaming and stuff like that. What outside elements that have made streaming challenging for you, or even inside elements actually have made streaming challenging for you, or have you not found it challenging at all? Is it been an absolute breeze?
No, there's always definitely challenges. I think it's just the kind of how much things affect you. Like I'd say little things. Like for everybody, I think when you're first starting out, it's equipment. It's about knowing
Mm.
what to get, what makes things work better. You know, what I mean, like what's good quality wise. Like there was a big learning curve there for me because before streaming, I was like into technology and stuff, but I didn't really know how good things were, like whether
Mm.
it came to PCs or just like equipment in general.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I can literally like build PCs and everything. Like
Yeah.
like I can do it all because like I feel like you have to get there rather than like relying on other people, especially. Like I just slowly built up over time, got equipment. That was definitely a challenge because a lot of things are expensive.
Yeah, really.
So
I like when I started as well. I had no idea. I'm kind of the same with you. Is I was into technology, but I didn't
yeah.
really understand it as well. And now I'm at the place where I know I can build. I can build a PC. The only thing that gets me nervous is a CPU. Putting the CPU in and the thermal paste. That's the bit I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do that.
But that's the thing is that's probably the hardest part, and it's not. It's not even difficult. It just the thought of it sounds difficult, but it is very simple.
Yeah, I mean, I remember what was it? Well, we were going through James's PC. We were looking at all the parts and stuff like that. I was, oh, James, you could just upgrade this bit and stuff like that. And he wasn't overly keen to just go upgrade parts. I mean, it's that kind of metal block when you, cause obviously, James, I'm guessing you haven't built any PCs before.
No.
No.
But the main reason for my PC was it needed a full like upgrade. It wasn't
Mm.
just like a certain parts that needed doing. Like, yes, I didn't really want to build it myself anyway because I've already like mess it up. But it needed a full upgrade. Like, there's no chance I was building that from scratch. Absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
Well, I think when I built this, it's actually harder to mess up than I actually like initially thought. It is basically most of the time it's just plugging stuff in. That's basically most of what you're doing. Memory just clicks in, graphics cards click in.
It's just it's literally that. It's putting things in the right place, and then
Yeah,
so it's just a little puzzle, really.
it is.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it is more daunting. Like once you've like, because I had that exact same thing because I built like my very very first PC because I wanted to save money. Like when
Mm.
I was trying to accrue like get all this equipment in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll build my PC. I don't really know how to do it, but like I'm willing to learn. And like I saved a lot of money doing it. And that first time, like now, like as soon as that first time was done and everything was working, got everything in the right place, like instantly I was like, I could do that again. Like I can just like easy. Like, I was like, that wasn't even that bad. Like I can do that again. It's just about doing it like that first time, and you'll definitely be like, oh, this is not bad
Mm.
at all.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? I used to watch. I mean, you might be familiar with them. Linus Tech Tips and
Yeah.
Austin. I used to watch them a lot, and they would really dive into how to like build PCs, but also what parts would help a PC, what would like kind of versus parts and stuff like that. It was really interesting, and then they build loads of PCs on the YouTube videos, so I just kind of watched them, and then that took away any kind of nerves I had with like putting in, swapping out graphics cards and popping in memory. I mean, those are the main things I've swapped out, and also changed the power supply. Power supply went on my very first PC, but that was because I put it on the ground and I had carpet. And obviously, a lot of the dust had just gone straight up into the fans, the power supply, and it completely knackered it. In fact, interesting story for you. So when the power supply went, I thought it might have been the graphics card that had gone. So I bought a graphics card, a CEX, and when it came, it was basically more or less a like for like. I can't remember the exact model, but it was only like £100, and for a graphics card, £100 is nothing, especially now. And I swapped it out, and it wouldn't register on the PC, and I was like, what's going on here? Why is this not registering? And me and Pomp at the time, we tried doing some troubleshooting, tried to work out why this wasn't working, and then we came to terms that this card had actually been used for mining, and was absolutely ran to the ground, basically. And I'll be honest with you, looking at the graphics card, wouldn't have been able. It actually looked brand new. Like, it didn't look like it had been used even slightly. But yeah, we deemed the fact that after doing all the troubleshooting, it had been used for mining, and CEX were selling them. Luckily, I got a full refund on it. I should add.
Oh, I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna say it's not a testament to CEX's testing services right there.
Yeah,
They probably just took it and was like, yeah, sure, looks
but
new.
you know what? It's still safer buying it off them than not, because of the fact that I was able to get a full refund. I could have bought that off Facebook Marketplace, and I'd had no chance.
That's true.
So like, if you're looking at upgrading your part, I would always recommend, instead of Facebook, always look at like CEX and stuff like that. You might pay more, but you'll get your money. You got warranty with it.
Yeah, exactly. You got a chance of.
Yeah, and that was my first piece, and then we deemed afterwards that what was actually wrong with it was the power supply, and it was overheating. So that was probably the first big upgrade I had to do, where you had to unplug everything and then cable management at the back. That was quite daunting at first, but once I'd done it, I think that was probably I felt more comfortable to do anything. I don't know yet. Well, I've got to change the case on this PC soon, but I'll see how we get on with
changing cases and stuff. Like, it's not necessarily difficult. It's just a bit of a ball ache.
Yeah, definitely. And the people will listen to this and stuff like that, going, "Oh, I couldn't do that" and stuff like that. But you don't know until you actually try it, and it builds your confidence.
You really do have to get your hands on with PCs and stuff. You do. Like my first PC I've had like since the start. I've had, well, even before then. I got it before uni, and I've like slowly.
Just for those that are PC interested, what kind of parts have you got in your PC now?
I've got two PCs. So I've got my original one. Well, it's dual PC setup, professional.
Bloody hell! On you go.
No, but it's not. When I say the parts, you'll see that it's not as fancy as it sounds.
Right.
But, I've got my old original PC that I got for university to take with me down to London, and I've upgraded that slowly over time so that it's capable of streaming and stuff. That's only got like super old. It's like an i7 3077K or something like that. 3770K, I think it's the one. And then like a 1060 in it. It's only got like a 1060 in it.
I mean, for basic streaming, that's not bad. Like, if you're as long as you're not gaming on that PC, streaming will do.
Yeah, like all it does is stream, and I have like Discord open on it and stuff like that, and I just have everything stream wise go out of that PC. Handles it perfectly. The funny thing with this PC, actually, I've had it for so long, like it's literally become like this old pet of mine. Like, I know everything about it in every single way. Like, on a normal day, right? If I turn my PC on, that PC, if I have all my USBs plugged in, it won't turn on. There's two specific USBs I got to take out before I turn my PC on, and then it will launch. It's so weird. Like, I have to take two USBs out, turn it on, it turns up fine, and then I plug them back in when it's on. But if I try and turn it on with them in, it just doesn't boot.
That's outstanding.
It's on its last legs, that's for sure. But it's done a good job. It's lasted, like I said.
Sentimental PC. Yeah.
Over 8 years now, that PC's been going.
And
my other PC's a few years old still, but it's more up to date. I can't even remember the CPU in it now. One of the newer ones.
Is it a Ryzen or Intel?
No, it's Intel. It's Intel.
Yeah.
I can't remember what. I'll have to have a look. But my graphics card is a 2060.
Okay.
I want to say it's an i5 9600K.
Okay.
I think.
Right.
But again, like I said, a few years old, but it does more than everything. Still play every game that I want.
Yeah.
Obviously, DDR4 RAM.
I mean, it will do for what games are. Well, I mean, if you're say for example crossplay really does everything. He'll do FIFA
Yeah.
if you wanted to get an ultra
Yeah,
wide
no,
monitor.
like I literally, I still play loads, all types of games of all different kinds of
Yeah.
demands, and it handles it. But the plan is to move. It's kind of like rotate them. So this
Mm.
newer PC will become the stream PC when I
Yeah.
get a newer gaming PC. Like, I'm just gonna always like rotate them.
Yeah,
Rotate them
I
out.
mean, I think like Jim's done the right thing, if I'm being honest, because even now, like I'd love to say, yeah, I'll build a PC from scratch and stuff like that, but you're not actually saving that much anymore because of the graphics card.
Yeah.
Because graphics cards are still so highly sought after, getting a brand new one is a nightmare. So you might as well buy a pre-build. Save yourself. Your time's worth more than that, you know. So trying to
I
get
was gonna say, like, I haven't looked for a while, but like the last time I did look,
yeah.
the parts and everything, like you say, putting it all together is very similar cost. The only thing that's extra would be like the labor of being put it together. And for most people, and myself included, I'd rather pay like the fee that they
Mm.
ask for than do it myself. So
Yeah,
you don't even necessarily have to build them yourself right now.
yeah, and like the two parts that you would probably upgrade over time, like your memory and your graphics card, are probably the two easiest parts to replace.
Yeah, they're just
They
click in. That's
yeah,
it.
they literally click in and that's it. And even memory is not even that expensive to build. I mean, obviously graphics cards are very expensive, but like you can get really good memory for quite cheap. So like yeah, you've got room to upgrade them there as well. And how are you finding the PC as well, James? Obviously you've had it a few days now. You know, have you gamed much on it?
Yeah, I've been playing a bit of Apex on it, bit of Warzone on it. It runs beautifully. My
Yeah.
main worry was like needing a PC where I could actually, because eventually I don't want to do any console gaming because everything's gonna be cross-platform anyway. So I wanted a PC that would like run the whole thing. It would all look really nice. So the main thing was streaming and playing one of the games, which I've done now. I played Apex on stream the other day on the PC, I was saying, and it was perfect. So
Nice.
happy days.
Yeah, I must say, Ax, with
Happy days.
dual PC, you must that room must get very, very warm.
Well, it's right, especially right now. Yeah, it's literally like a sauna, but it's not even. I've got one PC either side of me, so that's
Yeah.
like or each side heat, and then 3 monitors all facing me, heat
Yeah.
pumping out of it. It is horrible.
You know what I feel like you
But
should do
luckily,
we'll save maybe for TikTok, maybe not a full YouTube video, but you should do a setup tour.
well, I want to do that. So, like, the only reason I haven't really done one here is because it is like it's just a temporary place. Like I'm at home, like it's just temporary. When I move, 100% when everything's set up, I will be doing like definitely a setup tour, maybe even like a bit more like of the actual house because it will be actually be like my place
Yeah.
for the first time. So I'll have a
Just
lot more
to touch
freedom.
on obviously the fact that mentioned the kind of life outside the stream just a little bit there.
Mhm.
Obviously, what is your current setup and what are you moving to? Like what? So have you been at mum and dad's for a while? Is
Yeah,
it
so, well, it depends like how far. If you want to do just like recent history, or if you want to
yeah?
go from when
Well,
I started
you know what?
streaming,
We'll go from the start when you first started
Yeah.
streaming. You know, I want to
Go
hear it
from the
all.
top.
Yeah.
Make it drop.
From the top. Are you going to be cut to Jim's camera? He's going to be doing the WAP right now.
Yeah. All over my chair.
I'm not showing that on the podcast.
Oh, well, we can keep that private. It's fine.
Yeah.
We can keep
TikTok, we what?
I'll send it later.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, like how like where were you starting, and then what have you moved to, and where are you going to?
All right. So basically, well, starting off, I went down to London for university. Once university was done, that's when obviously I started working and everything. Worked for a couple of years, and then that's where we got to where we were talking about earlier, where I started
Sorry, I
streaming.
just touched on it as well. What kind of work did you do?
Well, I did a mix of things, but the most recent was I worked at Odeon in Covent Garden.
All right.
Did make the move up to manager, but it just wasn't for me. Just was not for me. But that's kind of part of the story, really, because at the time, like I started streaming like a couple times a week while I was working full time and everything like that. And I always wanted more time to stream, so I was always trying to get. I was like trying to do like part time of both, like just try and get it more 50-50.
Mhm.
But basically, without like long story short, my dad was like a big advocate. I used to talk to him all the time. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm not enjoying my job," kind of thing, blah blah blah. And I told him about streaming, and he had no idea really what it was. To be fair to him, he was just like, "I don't know, like, but if you're enjoying it, like, you should have a proper go at it." And I was always a bit scared too. I was like, oh, but, if it doesn't work out, I'm in an awful position, kind of thing. I'm living in London. I'm paying ridiculous rent for like a room in a shared house. So I can't really take that risk. But yeah, like I said, long story short, basically, he passed away around that time, like not too much after. And because of that, I kind of took his advice. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to take his advice. This job I hate. Why am I doing it? Just basically quit as soon as possible. Went into streaming. Like I said, I didn't, without a plan of doing full-time streaming, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what? While I'm in between jobs, I'm going to treat it as if it is my full-time job. And just from there, thankfully, due to just incredible people, incredible community, I've managed to somehow keep it going.
That's
But I
outstanding.
had to move out of London though, because obviously I was not earning enough from
Yeah.
stream to be like living in London. So again, family hugely important. My sister at the time and her husband got like a new house up here near where all my family live,
Mm.
and luckily they just had like a spare room and stuff. They had a spare room, and my sister offered. She was like, you know what, if you really want to give this a go, spend a few months here and see how it goes. So like I've got to be like super thankful to my family, because after that, like I said, I'm back home now at the time, and like my mum's the same. My mum's like, yeah, if you want to go for it, like they've just been incredible. They don't understand it. They really do not understand what I do. But they're like, if you're going for it, like, there's a spare room, so go for it in there. Like,
That
so
that
incredible
that
from them.
that is
Without them, I
amazing.
wouldn't be here.
That
I
is
would not be
amazing.
here without them.
Like that's the first time I've heard that, right? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you've shared that on stream and stuff before. I've maybe just not been there, but
Not maybe in detail. Maybe I've said things here and there, but
yeah, that's incredible. The fact that family was right behind it. Like you hear so many stories of obviously people just like questioning it and not wanting you to almost do it, and your family's just like give it a full go.
I'd say, well, I mean, they are supportive, but it just reminded me of something. Like, it's still funny because anytime that I'm out anywhere, like with my mum, for example, and like, I don't know, we could just be in like Aldi, and it'd be like, we're hiring, and my mum every time will go, oh look, they're hiring now. You should. I'm like, fuck off. All right, PG. F off. But no, it's funny because
Yeah.
like I think she's joking anyway. I think she's joking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she will be. Well, I don't even know that. I don't know her, but I think it sounds like
but
she
then,
is.
like I said, she doesn't really understand fully what I think she's actually now. She probably does have a better idea. Like from the start, because it's been like 4+ years now. From the
Yeah.
start, I think she was absolutely like, I've got no idea what you're on about. But I think now she is a bit like, I think I know how it works.
Aye.
So it's like they've learned a lot about it as well.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? It always helps as well when they see like the kind of the growth as well. So obviously, I'd imagine when you first started, you didn't have all the equipment that you do have now.
Yeah.
And then
No.
it's we touched on it a little bit, I think, with Sam, where we said the fact that it can be hard to justify the path of content creation to people that don't fully understand it. But what they do understand is the products that you gain from that. So the kind of rewards almost. So yes, okay, money is one of the big things that everyone asks for. Fortunately, you can't get away from money because you have to live. So it's a hard one to kind of talk about there, but at the same time, if you're really enjoying it and you can make it a full-time job kind of thing, absolutely. It's one of the most rewarding things. It's one of the hardest industries to be in, most definitely. But like from speaking with Chuffster to speaking with Sam to speaking with many other full timers, it is one of the most rewarding ones. You kind of get out of it what you put into it, and if you work hard, it's amazing. But what I'm really loving about what you've talked about there is the fact that your family is just been amazing. Full credit to them.
Literally, I can't stress enough. Like without them doing that, I would have 100%. Even if I moved up here as well, but there was like nowhere to stay family wise, I would have had to have got my own place and everything. I would not have been able to do it full time. I would have had to have had another job lined up and done it on the side. And like honestly, it's weird because I think about that. I don't even know what the world around me would look like if that happened instead. I cannot imagine it another way. It's so weird.
And you know what, you've been you've done some amazing work as well. You know, we're looking at kind of YouTube channel, looking at obviously seeing your streams as well. You've got a really good core audience that really are amazing to kind of see. Whenever I pop in your stream and stuff like that, you could be streaming anything, and they'll be so engaged and so up for it.
In there complaining, that's what they'll be doing.
I mean, if you're playing Valorant, maybe. You know,
Oh.
yeah, it's but like, you can be streaming anything, and they're right behind you as well, and that's one of the most rewarding things I've found. Obviously, with content, when you've got that following that
yeah.
will be with you no matter what. I mean, I know Jim's got an amazing following as well, and he can speak to this as well. Where you've got that core element, and when you start streaming, they're there right from the get go.
That's it. Like that's what I'd refer to as well. Like I'd say I was lucky that family was so supportive of me, but also like the look. I don't know what I don't want to say luck, but I do feel very lucky that the people in my community have found my stream because like you said, there's so many people in the community that have been there for a long time. Like I genuinely feel like I know so many people like really well, like just through streaming.
Opportunity
And
to
I
mention a
never
couple.
thought,
Who's been there like from the get go?
well, if we're doing like actual,
OGs.
kind of by the stats, if you want to go for
Yeah.
Pagolo, who I mentioned earlier, he's longest sub alongside none other than Sam Tap Tap.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Longest possible subs. They've subbed every month that's been possible.
That
on
is
the stream,
amazing.
which is crazy. But there's loads that I don't want to like start naming everybody because there's actually too many. Because I'll miss people and they'll be like, "Why didn't you say me?" Literally, like they'll know who they are. They'll know who they are. Like if they've been around for a long time, and it's not even about that as well. There's people that have been around like half as long, like a couple of years or even a year, like that. I appreciate just as much. Like I cannot stress enough how lucky I feel to have them,
Yeah.
especially when I'm sat there just moaning on stream about something, and they stick by it. So I can't like, they're actually amazing.
Amazing. And yeah, is it what one of the what for you? What has helped create that? Like, what's helped for you? What would you say has worked to create that kind of community? Like, what kind of things have you tried? What kind of games have you played that really have helped develop that community along? Or maybe they gave you that jump up where you found like I've got a loyal base now. Like, what have you done?
I think that will definitely be down to pro clubs without a doubt. And obviously, again, shout out to Sam Tap Tap because he raided early on. He raided me like a lot early on as well. So he definitely shared his community in that respect. Like he knew he played absolute loads of clubs, so he knew here's somebody else that's going to be playing loads of clubs. Like they know they're going to enjoy it, kind of thing. And it kind of merged. Like mine and Sam's community. I feel like, well, at the time there was a time where our communities felt similar right near the start because it basically was Sam's community, and then like every now and then new people would trickle in for me, and and over time, like maybe there's shared, and now there's also different like viewer bases. But at the start, definitely Sam. Like he helped me out so much, so much.
I mean, I'll also say obviously one thing that you and Sam also have in common is your connection with Horizon as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like I don't see everything that they do, but they seem like a tremendous organization to be a part of. Like the fact that they seem to be so supportive. I mean, what's your experience with Horizon and being part of a kind of organization like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think supportive is the right word. Like when I first started, it's a strange one because they've always been supportive. They've always been on top of things. Like they help you with literally everything, whether it's on stream or off stream. Like by the way, like the people behind it, like Kieran, Will, and they've got some other people around them now. Like they are genuinely like really really nice people. Take that away from like the business side. Like they actually do like care. They do want you to do well. Like whether it's like I say actually through your platform or just mentally, like they want you to be like happy. So from that point of view, like you cannot say anything about them. When I first started, like they were in a bit of a transitional phase. Like now they're a lot more kind of like they're set, they're ready, they've kind of got this plan, and it's like there's a lot of exciting things happening.
Yeah.
When I first joined, like I said, transitional period. Like they still offered loads. They still offer you like at any given opportunity, they'll offer like opportunities for you, whether it's sponsorships, partnerships, or like special streams or charity streams. We've done a lot of charity
Yeah.
streams with Horizon and raised a hell of a lot of money for some amazing causes. Like they were great for that as well. But yeah, honestly, I don't have a bad word to say about them.
Yeah.
They've been great. They've
Um,
been really good.
Amazing, yeah, and I seen obviously the fact there's the likes of the sponsorship deals that they offer as well. That they try and get you the best possible one. Sam touched on it as well with the likes of G Fuel and
Yeah.
whatnot. But for you, what helped you get noticed by Horizon? What think sold that you were a streamer that they wanted?
I just knew Sam Tap Tap. No, that was a part of it because Sam did recommend. We still had like a normal conversation with Horizon after the fact. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't enough. Like Sam to go, oh, check out this person. By the way, like it wasn't enough for them to go, yeah, 100%. Like, it still had a couple weeks of conversation with them of like what I like, my vision for what I like to do, their vision, and they just they aligned. Like, but yeah, it was just a conversation really about what you want to do, what type of person you are, kind of thing. Like I said, they are just like genuinely like nice and supportive people. So they just wanted to find out a bit about me first and be like, okay, like
Yeah,
I don't know
I mean,
what they
that's
thought, but
that's
I'm assuming they thought, oh yeah, he fits in.
yeah,
So let's get him in.
that's networking done right, because like a lot of people like I mean, we've all had it where someone's coming in the stream saying, "Oh, I'm going to be streaming too," kind of thing. They always come in and they try and advertise themselves, but networking done right there, where you've been genuine with Sam, been good pals for a while, and obviously just being able to help each other, being genuine that way, and that is amazing as well to hear. Obviously, the fact that he maybe gave you the first step, but you walked the path to get to be with Horizon, which is always amazing to see, because it is a partnership that they've helped you and you've helped them. Because obviously, I think particularly when you think you first joined, obviously, they were significantly smaller then. There was a few charity streams and stuff like that. I think I remember one where there was like chilies and stuff like that involved.
Well, yeah, that particular stream. So yeah, well, if you're saying obviously it's all for charity, but in terms of like if you wanted to say like how the relationship works, like that's a perfect example of it, because they were like they obviously help us in a lot of ways, and one way we can help, like it was me, Sam, and Manic for a charity stream. We did it like all at the same time.
I remember that. Yeah.
And yeah, like that's one of the ways that we can obviously, that's us like helping out the organization in that sense. Like we did that, we set up like this really special stream, and we raised loads of money. Like I can't even remember what the exact total was, but it was, I think I want to, how many? It was a ridiculous amount. I don't want to say the wrong number, but it was thousands, and like it was far beyond anything. Like our first goal, it like quadrupled our first goal minimum, and like just it was perfect. So that's like a good example of how the relationship works. Of like they give us opportunities, but then also we're there to help them with their charity drives, etc.
That amazing. Like I mean, I love like but raising money for charity myself. Obviously, I've set myself the goal before I'm 30 to raise 10 grand. I'm on like 2,800 at the moment, I think. I haven't raised much for the last. I was meant to do a charity match. I think it was like a couple years ago. Before, just as COVID was getting rife. I had originally, just as I was planning it. I mean, I was going to have James come down, come up. I mean, I was going to have Jack 7 and all that. I was going to get loads of people involved with it at Livingston Stadium, because it was amazing. You could rent out the Livingston Stadium for about 200 quid. The entire stadium
for the whole day.
For the whole day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because that's where I did the first one that I did with Macmillan. It was amazing because I messaged a couple of the players from Livy, and I got responses. They came to help coach the teams as well. So I had them, and it was amazing. Like I was still gobsmacked. This is a stadium that's on Sky Sports. That's like they have Rangers and stuff like that playing there and whatnot. And we were able to rent it for 200 quid. I was like still gobsmacked, because I could go to a community centre and get a pitch for, I think the price I was quoted was 160. So for 40 quid more, I get a stadium.
I was gonna say, for a full stadium.
Yeah,
Have you got a plan to do another one anytime
yeah,
soon?
I have plans to do more. It's just logistically difficult. Really difficult to kind of to put into place. I had originally planned to do it kind of in the summertime, but I might look at potentially doing a winter one. Because
Winter in Livingston.
but
Oof.
because it's because it's an all weather pitch, so we have the flexibility to do that. I did play on the pitch once where it was torrential rain, and I couldn't see the other side of the pitch, and I had an awful game that one. I got bullied, I played right back, and it was absolutely awful. The one I actually organized, I only played maybe 10 minutes at the end because I was obviously organising everything. There was raffles and stuff like that. I went to different shops trying to get donations. My brother-in-law worked for M&S at the time, and he came good with like bottles of wine, biscuits, all sorts from M&S. We went to Aldi were really good. They gave us like bottles of gin. I try to think who else.
I like that their thought is like, oh, you're doing a charity football match, are you? Yeah, here's some alcohol.
Yeah, well,
that'll make you play better.
Yeah, it was good because they gave it was Aldi Lidl because I made up a match program as well, and I made sure that I mentioned the fact that these donations were from them as well, and it was it was amazing. I got kits and everything organized. They were really good. The teams that donated them to us. We had about 400 or 500 people in the stands, which at the time, it was I think I only really organized. It was about a month organization I had, and I probably put myself under a significant amount of pressure with just a month to plan it all. And going forward, obviously, I do a lot more, and they also have the facilities now to stream it, which they didn't have before COVID, which is obviously a benefit. So I'm going to see if I can get hold of the pitch maybe in the winter, maybe during the World Cup, and that way I know that I'll be able to maybe get hold of the pitch then, and we'll maybe look at it doing it then. But this is all speculation. Nobody come chapping my door, I believe Christmas time saying where's this charity match, because I won't tell you. But yeah, that's the idea. Hopefully, who knows? Maybe we have Axoma in goal.
In goal? Whoa. I mean, I'll give it a go. I've played in goal in a competitive match before.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? You play wing back, don't you usually?
Well, if we're going by clubs positions, get me in right mid, yeah.
Yeah, right mid. Big Sam Tam
striker.
I think I'll be more of a. I don't even know. I'll probably just play like CDM, but just not run anywhere. I'll just be like Perlo when he was 40.
You and Jim and DM.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we'll just chill. We'll be sat drinking the gin in the middle of the pitch.
What kind of alcohol do you like? Well, what's your choice?
Ooh, see, I'm quite if I go out and stuff. Like it depends. Like if you're going out for drinks, like with friends, casually, I'm actually like the type to try something new, like whether it's cocktail or like a different, like a mix that I haven't had before.
Yeah.
Go to. Oh, see, this is tough. I don't really have a go-to that isn't like boring because my go-to is just like some kind of beer or like a rum and coke or a whiskey and coke or something like that. If that like
don't tell me it's Jack and Coke.
Well, it's whatever really. Like this is what I mean. Like my base drinks are boring. Like I'll just have like I say, beers or a mixer.
I have nothing against whiskey and coke. I can't stand Jack Daniels. Any bourbons, absolutely not.
I am
Scottish, so I like it has to be malt whiskey.
Yeah, well that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I might cringe if you put malt and cola together, but still better than Jack. But I mean, I know there's lots of people that would tell me, "No, Jack's lovely" and stuff like that. They're all wrong. They need to shut up. Yeah. I mean, I love whiskey myself. Jim, what's your go-to? I think you said vodka last time.
Yeah. So no. Yeah. If I'm going out and I need one drink to stick to, it'd be a vodka and coke. Like it would be. But I'm like, if I'm going somewhere, say Turtle Bear, something like that, I'll always try a cocktail. Yeah. I love a good cocktail. I
like trying different stuff. Like
yeah.
There was one like I'm trying to think of like one that came to mind. Like, but anything I think any of them that I say just makes me sound I don't know. It doesn't sound good. So I'll just stick to the
Yeah.
word cocktails, because otherwise no. But you know what I mean. I'll like fancy.
We know
Like,
we
I'll be
know
like,
you love
oh, I
sex on the
tried
beach,
a
mate.
fucking flamed pomegranate juice or something else.
Porn star martini.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
unreal, by the way.
Sex on the beach. Yeah, the names of them are they could change them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously, I was going to ask you there, just whereabouts are you actually based? Because obviously you mentioned London, but where are you based now? Yeah, you did say
Yes,
you did say Morecambe in the career mode. Were you from Morecambe originally?
I'm not. No.
No.
The only reason I was Morecambe in the career mode is because on that game they were the worst team in the game.
Oh, right.
That's the only reason. Well, at the minute, so like my family and stuff are based in like Leicester, like Leicestershire.
Mm.
Like I said, moved down to London for uni, stayed there. I ended up being in London for about 8 years before coming back, and that's where I am now. Obviously, back at home, and I'll be moving. In fact, actually, that just reminds me, I didn't even like finish like the moving journey, but soon, yeah, I'll be moving out with my girlfriend very very soon into an actual house for the first time ever with an actual stream room. Like I'm gonna have my own room
Amazing.
for my setup and everything. No bed in the background, none of that. None
I,
of my clothes and drawers and stuff.
I've
It'll be
got
a
to
room
say,
just for
from my
stream.
own personal experience, it genuinely makes such a difference having a separate room for it all.
I haven't even got it yet, and I feel like it already has.
Yeah, like
Like
I mean, I
I-
had
my-
it in my room, and the
to
problem
separate it.
yeah, the problem I had is like obviously your Xbox, my PS, my PC, they all made noises during the night or had lights on, even when you switched them off. So I hated having it because it would keep me up. So having a separate room, it
Yeah.
means the moment I walk out that door, I'm completely switched off from it. Like
It's just, I think, yeah, it's just a bit more like freedom, especially because I'm not gonna promise any super late night streams every single night or anything.
yeah,
But that gives me the option, like, say, Mrs. got work early in the morning. She wants to go to bed, but I don't want to. I can fire up the stream because it's in a different room. Like it's
yeah.
little things like that that I've never had before. Like it's just freedom to be able to do anything, stream anywhere. Yeah, and like I say, actually be able to do setup tours and stuff because it's
Mm.
my place. It's not somebody else's.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm looking forward to it so much.
I mean, this is my brother's old room. So just to clarify, right, the way that my house is set up, basically, this room and my bedroom used to be one room. Like it was one room that used to stretch from either side of the house. My dad put up a wall in the middle to make two bedrooms and like fitted wardrobes and all that. And this used to be my brother's bedroom. Then my brother's moving back up to here, and he's not getting this room back. He's not getting my bedroom either.
Oh.
He's getting he's getting the spare one. Because I put
He's
my
taken over 2 rooms.
yeah, basically, and he's trying to make the argument I need to pay double the rent, and this so yeah, I mean, I mean, obviously the disc plates I absolutely love. Like every disc plate there tells something about me in some way. I love having that. Obviously, I've got the sign that I got from Nike after they watched the Sam Tap Tap podcast. I mean, actually, you'll see it in the podcast topics, the one right in the middle of the disc plates.
Oh yeah.
Which was an amazing surprise. I absolutely love it. And then I've also got behind the cell, which you can't see. I have got loads of foam panels that I bought off Amazon, and the idea of that is just to dampen my voice. It doesn't make the noise that I say any less. It just means that it doesn't carry with so much kind of volume. Yeah, it's like you'll still hear me on the other side, but it might not be enough now to wake you up if you're in the that's the idea, because to actually soundproof the room I would need to like get seals around the door and everything, and that's just a lot of effort that I can't be bothered with. But
soundproofing a non, like, because soundproofing, a lot of it is like you build to have a soundproof room usually. So like to do it after the fact when a room's already existing it's not easy.
Yeah, you've kind of got to put up another wall and then have that gap in between. But yeah, no, I get that completely. And obviously the panel, I've got to say, panels. How much this? I think they were like 25 quid. I think for I think it was like for 10, or maybe a little bit more. But yeah, they've made a big difference, because my mom and dad used to absolutely go mad at me the fact that I was up late at night. I'm a very loud person, right? although I'm small, I have probably the loudest voice that you'll ever hear. If I was to shout, I've got a drill sergeant voice. And
Shout for us right now. Go on.
no, not a chance. 'Cause they'll think something's wrong if I do that. So I could see Simply Muller what making our way in here.
Simply Mother, behave yourself.
Yeah,
Simply Mum.
yeah.
That's great.
Simply Mother. Oh,
It was like that. It was like the podcast we did. What was it beforehand, James? Wasn't it with Will? And I introduced myself to some what was it? Nazi general. Was it I'm Simply Spud. You're the Angel of Death, are you?
Oh yeah. Oh, dickhead.
Yeah, it was yeah. Well, is what it is. We live and die by our aliases, don't we? But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I'm a very loud person, so the sound panels do help. To kind of dampen the voice. That's the phrase that they use when you buy them. The downside of it is it makes the room even hotter. Than what it currently is. Like, this room is not big. I would probably say, like, actually lengthwise, it's probably maybe about 5 meters long, and then it's about 5 by 5 almost meters wise. It's not a big room, but and it gets so warm. And it also doesn't help the kitchen is right below me as well. So
all the heat coming
yeah.
through the floor.
I know it's yeah. During this time of the year, it's a sweaty mess. But
This is where we're gonna
Bake
cut.
Spud.
We're gonna bake Spud.
big Spud. Yeah,
We're gonna cut to Spud right now, and he's gonna be dripping in sweat.
yeah. So someone's filling me with butter. But yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, obviously having the separate room, it does wonders. And it just gives you feel that you've got that space to kind of really be creative. And then when you leave, yes, you think about content creation outside of the room, but I'm not looking over while I'm in my bed thinking of everything I need to do. And I just feel a bit more productive when I'm in this room as well, which is ideal. I have just moved my PS into my own bedroom now because I very rarely play the PS. Now, the only thing I actually bought it for, believe it or not, the PS5 was to play Spider-Man. That was legitimately the only reason. I absolutely love that game. It's probably
Was it worth buying the PS5 for?
100%.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
PS5 sponsorship.
I mean,
deal here.
the thing is now they've just released the Spider-Man game on PC now. Yeah, they just released it on Steam as the remastered version as well.
Oh no.
It's honestly like, so if I was to list my top 5 games, right? First one is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Right? I absolutely love that game. The fact you're a pirate. I mean, what when I worked in the States, the kids used to think I was a pirate because I kept saying I all the time. They bought me an eye patch and whiskey when I left. So that's my number one. Second one, I have to say, is either gonna it'll be The Witcher. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and then it's Spider-Man. Yeah, it's odd set of games, isn't it? But those are my. I mean, in fairness, if I was to ask you, what are your top games? What ones that really like top 3 for you?
Top 3. Okay, so third, FIFA 21. Second, FIFA 20.
Oh Jesus.
Top games. I always say I'd never thought about top 3 before, but if anyone ever asked me what my favorite game is, favorite memories, got to be Skyrim. Skyrim. I just have so many hours on it, so many just memories of. I don't know. It's one of those games where now I can't even really remember certain things I've done on the game now because it's obviously an older game.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know I was having a good time. I was like, when I played it, I just know I was having a great time. As for second and third, though, oh Jesus, second and third games. I do love The Witcher 3. I don't know if would it be top 3? This is tough. I've never had to think about it.
Did you ever play the DLC for it?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I did not. I only ever played the base game.
It wasn't my top 3 until I played the DLC.
All right, well,
yeah.
I think I think it's so. Yes, Mooch in my community, I think when I told him that, he was like, "What?" He was like, "You haven't even played the DLCs." And I'm sure if he listens to this, he'll be like, "You need to play them."
Yeah.
He's like been trying to get me to play Witcher again for a while.
It's like both the DLCs just add probably about an extra 30 hours of gameplay, and they're not like and the art and the actual visuals of it are unbelievable. Like they just add so much to the game. I don't think I've ever had DLC that I think has added that much. The only one I can think of is Fallout, where there was a really good DLC for that. There was also I think it was like I think it was maybe Modern Warfare 2. I think where some of the DLCs were really really good. I can't remember which COD it was, but one or two of the CODs had unbelievable. Oh, it'd be one of the ones with zombies actually. That'll be why.
Yeah, one of the Black Ops, I reckon.
Yeah, it'd be one of the zombies. So yeah, you're saying top 3 games. I've just interrupted you completely there.
Well, I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know if I can give you a second and third like this genuine without just plucking games out of nowhere. I think I'll just stick with Skyrim, definitely at the top, and then there's I don't know. There's so many. I'm trying to think of other games like Skyrim where I just remember absolutely loving it, and I don't know if there's any on par with it.
What about
You
Halo?
I mean, Halo. These are all the ones because I've had like COD, like even like the CODs. Of course, like growing up, getting home from school and stuff, playing COD. Literally, there was a time where I'd get home, we'd play COD, I'd have dinner, go back on COD, go bed, and I'd do that as long as I didn't have football training or anything. That's what my day would be like throughout like the whole of secondary school, pretty much. But I still don't know if I'll put them in the top 3. That's the problem. Like they were amazing, but more for like because of the people I was playing with more than the game, I think.
Well, Jim, what about you? What games really come in the top 3 for you? We'll see. We'll see if you can inspire Axoma a little bit.
Valorant.
I love Valorant. Fall Guy, no.
Fall Guy second. There you go. No.
I don't know. It's hard with top 3s because I feel like I'm one of those people. I always just switch games all the time. Like I've never stick to like one game. Like like single player games, I've like completed all in whatever. Like obviously good games, but for a game to be top, it needs to have like an incredible single player, some sort of like co-op, multiplayer. Like, it needs all of it. And I think there hasn't been one game that's got it, like fully locked down to like be at the top
any
of its own.
Pokemon made it into there? Would you say?
I think if you put it as a whole, then yeah. But I wouldn't say one individual game is like
I have just thought of my second game.
Oh, go for it.
Go on.
Nintendogs.
Oh,
God's sake.
I'm
Name of the dog?
I don't remember. I remember having it though. That's why it came to mind. I was like,
a great game, to be fair. Great game.
Oh yeah, when I was younger, I absolutely loved it. But no, definitely nowhere near the top 2
out. Get number 2 out on the Switch. Come on.
Nintendogs, man. I forgot that was a game.
Yeah, well, so did I until 2 minutes ago.
Oh,
What was a great game? Donkey Konga.
Donkey Konga.
Yeah, so it was Nintendo. It's like Guitar Hero, Rock Band, whatever. It's like that where you play songs on the bongos, but it's on the Switch, on the what was it, on the Wii or the GameCube? I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Donkey Konga. You had a set of bongos.
So basically, Bongo Hero.
Yeah,
what
it was
the
quality.
hell?
Honestly, it was so good.
Get that fired up on stream.
me smacking the bongos. Oh dear, that was good though.
In fairness, you've just chucked Guitar Hero into the mix for me because like one of my best ever memories is I think it was my 16th birthday party. We were I had Guitar Hero. I can't remember for the life of me which one it was, but it had Linkin Park, and this was the first time I'd ever listened to Linkin Park, by the way, which is my absolute all-time favorite band.
No joking.
Yeah,
I like them as well.
Yeah. And I think we had the entire house singing "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi, and it was just like everyone was in sync. It was like we were actually a band performing. It's bizarre, but it was just one of my best ever memories. 16th birthday party, and just the whole house singing it, like in each individual room, everyone's singing it, and it's just like this is mad. Like this is
but that's how like they're made though. Like memories like that on a game, like is exactly why. Yeah. Like, that's gonna stay with you forever, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I might have to chuck Spider-Man out for Guitar Hero just solely because of that memory. Yeah,
Similarly, I did play a lot of Guitar Hero and loved it as well.
yeah,
But I've got two brothers, and us three, we played Rock Band. Like when Rock Band like came out slightly after, obviously later than Guitar Hero, we got
yeah.
the full setup, everything, and like
Mm.
we just had one of us on drums, one like either two on guitar or one like
Yeah.
singing or whatever. And like we used to play that all the time, so that's probably up there as well for me. Like there's some good memories. We used to absolutely rinse that, try
Yeah.
and get perfect on like every single song we did.
I mean, like what was it? I think it may have been my 18th birthday. We had Guitar Hero out again, and I think that this one, I think my was it this one? I can't remember. Basically, one of my birthday parties, we had my brother-in-law round, and this was like still early on in his relationship with my sister, and I think he was trying to impress us a little bit. So he whacks out expert on the guitar, and he's messing it up constantly in front of everyone. I'm just like,
That's
yeah.
the worst though. You know the noise it makes when you miss. It's
Yeah.
like, clink, clink, like it's horrible.
I'm going to clip this and post this on Instagram just to have a dig at him. It's like, Darren, do you remember this?
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, I mean, because there's no hiding from that, is there? It just like it's there, and you can't get away from it. I can't remember. I can't even remember what song it was. I think it might have been an AC/DC one potentially. But he whacked on expert, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was very much a firm, I think medium difficulty. Was the highest I could go on
medium.
Yeah. Aye.
That's poor from me. That's poor.
What
I expect more from you.
Were you expecting at least hard?
Well, yeah.
We are still talking about Guitar Hero, yeah.
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
I mean, God's sake. But yeah, no, medium was because you know what? I always wanted to sing along with the song. I got too distracted and wanted to sing along, so like I might be able to do the beginning on hard, but I wouldn't be able to do the rest of it.
How do you eat your steaks, bud?
Was that?
How do you eat your steak?
Medium.
Oh, everything's medium, eh?
I mean, now you mention it, my Nando's order, that's also always medium as well. I mean, Ferris, you're lemon and herb, so you have no ground.
Again, it's not in terms of it being too spicy. I just like the taste of it. All right.
I mean, that's what you would say, to be fair.
No, you know what? Right, I'm gonna go to Nando's, order medium, and film myself eating it.
That's
what I'll do.
Yeah. We'll wait, go get one now. We'll wait for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a full YouTube video of you just eating this medium Nando's. Oh dearie me! I mean, in fact, it reminds me of that YouTube video you did. With was it that 10,000 calorie challenge or something? Yeah. Would you ever do that again?
Yeah. Sit around and eat food all day. Why not?
On your top? How close did you get?
No, it wasn't my own. It was with someone who I've known for like since secondary school.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I think I got like 6,000 in the end.
Holy.
Yeah, and I think my mate got like 8,000. I can't remember. I could be completely wrong here. You know, it's like you with the how much money we made for charity. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, it was around. I think we definitely did 10K like between the two of us, 100%. But I don't know how much individually we got.
It was a good video to watch. I did enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
You know, just eating lots and lots of food. I don't think there was any controversial food decisions that I can remember in there.
I remember what we had. We had a Mackey's to start. We bought a Mackey's, right? And then we said, "Oh, I'm still a bit hungry yet." So then we got a Greg's, and then for some reason after that we got a Burger King as well. I was like, "Wow,
just beige all day."
Yeah, literally. And I was like, "Why have we done this?" So we sat there eating the Burger King. I just couldn't eat it.
Don't want to go too gruesome, but the day after, what was your toilet looking like? Or...
Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
Oh, dearie me. But yeah, I mean, Ax, we'll move back onto you a little bit. So what does content creation look like for you going forward? Do you think what do you see yourself maybe evolving into, or like doing in the future? What kind of things would you like to maybe look at doing?
You know, I mean, it's funny you should say that. You know, saying like evolving and whatever. I think this last year, like if you want to kind of coincide it with FIFA 22, because normally I'm playing FIFA for a lot more of the year, and I binned it off a lot earlier this year just because I was like, it's basically the same, unrewarding, don't want to have anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
That initially like put me into a bit of a dip where I was like, oh, like what the hell do I do? What I don't know what I'm going to play, what I'm going to do. Like I was like panicking every day. I was waking up and I didn't know what I was streaming.
Yeah.
But over time, like now, like even though I still have that now, like where I'm like, okay, it's about jumping from game to game, like trying to find fun where you can in on any game
Mm-hmm.
for the purpose of the stream. Now I feel a lot more comfortable about that. Like I feel a lot more comfortable about just taking things how I want to take them.
Mm-hmm.
Before I think I was a bit too like tunnel visioned on what does everybody else like? What does what do people want me to do? Whereas now I do feel like I'm a lot more comfortable being like, you know what, I don't like this, so I'm not going to do it. I think this could be fun, so I'm going to try it. Like, and I think just more of that going forward. Like, I just want to. Obviously, we're going to be back on FIFA. We're going to keep trying it. Hopefully, they can get some fun out of it. But that's how I'm looking at games now. Like, it doesn't matter what the game is. I'm going to look into it. Is there fun somewhere, whether it's for myself or for like the community aspect or anything, and go forward like that. Like I think I want to definitely be a bit more open minded with what I do on stream.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you've always been a big community streamer, that's really trying to always cater to obviously what the community want. Even though the community can be horrible sometimes with the comments, but yeah,
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's like horrible. It's just different tastes, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
I could load up any game, and some people would be like, "Oh yeah, this is interesting," and some people would be like, "Oh, I'm not interested in this at all."
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
just the way it is.
I see all the time whenever I'm in James' streaming, he loads up F1 and people didn't want to see F1.
Yeah, you see me there. You see me going, "Oh, F1."
You're crying out loud.
I mean, obviously, I'll ask you, James, the same question. Actually, where do you see your content going?
Oh,
Wasn't ready for this, was he?
I wasn't ready.
We've got a
This
whole new
Axoma's not
PC
mine.
now, Jim.
Yeah,
We've got a whole
honestly,
new PC.
exactly. Yeah, honestly, I'm just going to try different games. Games that I couldn't do on stream before. Because things like, for example, Warzone, the F4V slider on Xbox, you don't have it on Warzone. So I know it sounds ridiculous. Like I didn't play very much because of that, but that's one of the main reasons I didn't play it. Like I think it's at a disadvantage for it. So like, I probably will over the next like couple of months just experiment different games and see how they do. Like I did Apex the other day and it did all right. It didn't do too bad. But obviously I'll always like be doing F1 FIFA. Like I'll always be doing them games.
Yeah, that's it. There's always going to be like certain games that if it's community games or just games you've always done. Like they're always going to be there. It's about like trying to build on top of that. Like we both do watch alongs as well, and like that's an amazing addition.
Yeah, definitely.
Personally, like I love doing them.
Yeah.
So a lot more of them on top. And
the watch alongs are like it's like a not a wind down, but like I don't know, like sometimes when you're like you're trying to be like because you're not going to sit there and be like boring. You're going to try and be like entertaining and stuff. Sometimes you're doing a watch along for a couple of hours. You just like recharge a bit. It's good. I don't know. I really enjoy watch alongs.
It feels like because I'm not very good at say like loading up or just chatting and literally just sitting there chatting with chat. Like even though I could. There's something there where I don't feel like necessarily comfortable. Like I don't know if it's just because it's just all eyes on you. Like it's you're the reason you've got to like entertain or come up with something. But with watch-alongs, it's like a just chatting stream, but you've got that football base that you can either talk about or that you're watching. Like there's just a bit more going on and feels more comfortable. It's like it's pretty perfect.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do the watch-alongs. I get too particularly if it was Arsenal, I get too emotional doing it. Like
that's good.
Like I don't know, like I'm usually quite a subdued person, I think. But when it comes to like things I really really care about, I can't help it. I start shouting and screaming and stuff like that, and it make great content. But I don't like recording. I don't like seeing myself do that.
Would you do it on like other people's channels though?
Say that again.
Would you do it on other people's channels? So say if like Jim was like, "Oh, there's an Arsenal game coming up. Do you want to be in the call?" Would you do that?
Potentially. Yeah, maybe.
What are you doing?
No, but that's I just think it would be good. Like it's good to have that. Like it's good to have like a fan of each team.
Well, that's
I like
why
watching as a neutral, but sometimes I do think it'd be good to have like someone in the call from each team, like in an ideal world.
Yeah, that's why all the bigger like watch along like channels, they all watch the games that the teams to support. That's why they do so well because they get the reactions that they get, like the clips and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got to a point where, like, yeah, like you say, like because they do it so often, and like they become like the face of their team
Yeah.
almost. There's like a
Mhm.
Yeah.
few like they're like famous fans, I guess, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
So it's a good way to be.
I mean, what was it? For like, obviously, we were talking there just to kind of on the content and stuff like that. I mean, it's one of the reasons I started doing the podcast. Was because I can waffle shite for days.
I can tell. No,
Yeah, I can waffle for days.
No wonder he's got them sound panels up.
And I was like, I like streaming. Do not get me wrong, I do. And I actually enjoyed the just chatting section more than the gaming section because I struggled to concentrate on two things at once. So like doing the gaming side, I'd be fully focused, but I'd struggle to talk at the same time.
Depends what you're
So
playing.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna say, yeah, it does depend on like the game, but yeah, that's definitely it's not easy.
yeah. So I enjoyed the actual just chatting to the stream part. That was the main thing I enjoyed. And then I was like, you know what? I didn't even watch podcasts at the same time. I just like it just sounds like something I would do. So I was like, yeah, I'll start this up and we'll see how it goes. And obviously we're still in the kind of early stages of it. There's still a lot more I've got to learn with it, but I definitely think from the first episode that I've done to now, I feel like I've gotten so much better, particularly interviewing. In particular, like I think of my first one with Jim, I did with Jim because I knew Jim already. Like I knew a lot. I knew the questions to ask and stuff like that. Although Axe, I know who you are and I've been in your stream multiple times. I didn't actually know you that well.
Yeah.
Like learning obviously about your family and stuff like that is amazing to hear. Like that like that's something that I if I'd known beforehand I would have wanted to guide towards anyway because that's I think from just about everyone else that I've talked to, maybe with the exception of Jim, everyone's been kind of they've had those big obstacles where maybe people haven't been as supportive as what your family has been there. And that, like I said, that was it's refreshing to hear. I love. I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the story of Sam, where his aunt tells him that he's stupid, and then buys him the sign. Like that is exceptional.
Yeah.
I love that. So like for me personally, it's kind of like this is what I've kind of grown to really enjoy doing. It's hard sometimes to get the time to do it now. Is difficult because I can't commit to recording it during the week, which I could have done beforehand. But it's still the main thing I want to do is kind of podcast, chat shit, and
But this is why it's so good though, because like you say, it is stuff. It's about like it's not even that you're sat here necessarily like interrogating, like give me information. It's just like this type of format, things just come out like naturally that wouldn't on stream, for example, or like you just wouldn't even think about like this type of format. This is why, I just think it. I think you're doing really well with it. Like it's good to, especially because it's interesting as well. Obviously, you're branching from, like you say, like people streamers you watched or and stuff like that. That's like a really good place to start, I think, because everyone that watches, say, for example, Sam's or Will's, or like we all know each other as well.
Yeah.
Like, so there is like a common interest.
Yeah.
And like I think it's a good way to go.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, having Chufters on was huge. I mean, he gave me so much extra information I didn't even know myself. He really dived into a lot that a lot of us maybe would want to know. Like the financial side of thing was one of the things because everyone wants to know once you kind of get to his stage, like how easy is it to kind of support yourself? Like how easy is it to live? And he gave so much. He was so open and so great that way. And gave like a lot of answers to people. I mean, that's my most viewed TikTok. It's him talking about the money side of things. Because people just want to know. They just want to know what you get from YouTube videos. They want to know, like, is this a viable career that would be worth my time investing myself into? And he provided that, which was amazing. And I mean, obviously, we've got yourself as well, who obviously streaming is a big part of obviously how you support yourself as well. And it definitely wouldn't have been the easiest choice. I mean, the easy choice would have been to go back to Odeon and work there while streaming at the same time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, literally. But
Yeah,
like that's another thing, like because it is all situational, I'd
yeah,
say, because like again we touched on it before. If I didn't have like my family offering to like kind of
mhm,
let me go for it, they basically said, "Look, here's some space, go for it," which is like
mhm,
amazing.
yeah,
But without that, like, I don't think because I say I've been full time for this long. If I'm
mhm,
being brutally honest,
yeah,
time wise, I've been full time. Earning wise, I've not been full time for that long. Like, if I'm
yeah.
being brutally honest.
Yeah.
So it is like situational. I'm just very very lucky to have the space to go for it, and yeah, like you say, the support. So
If you don't mind me asking, this is going to be quite a probing question, right?
yeah.
How long roughly have you been able to kind of earn a livable kind of income from what you so what like where you gives you flexibility?
Well, obviously, as we know in like streaming and stuff, you don't get a consistent amount anyway.
Mhm,
But
yeah,
for in terms of like lowest average and stuff like that, like I said, if I'm being honest, like it would be literally, yeah, maybe like April, like literally only a few months ago,
okay,
I'd
yeah,
say it seemed like that's why I'm moving out. Do you know what I mean? That's why
yeah,
making the move now because it's only very very recently that I've been able to do that.
mhm,
So before that, if I was trying to move out, like whether it was on my own or with someone or not, I don't think it really would have been possible,
yeah.
if I'm being honest.
I'm guessing obviously the missus is also quite supportive of it as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. She basically the main thing that she says to me is just like, so just keep working hard and become a millionaire. And I'm
Ah,
like, well,
yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but no, she is super supportive as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
So
You know what? You never know, and you know what? With your stream room, it'll give you so much more flexibility as well.
yeah.
Like
That's
you,
another thing, like that's why I'm saying like full time, like time wise and stuff. Absolutely, I have been. I mean, well, people might tell you
mm.
differently in the community. They call me part time a lot, but like from having an actual stream room and stuff. Like when we go into this house, for me, that's actually the first point since starting streaming where I'm like, right now, this is where like this is me giving it a go now.
This
Like
is
so,
your
even all
kicking
these
on.
years that have already been, as much as effort and time I've put into it, and it's been amazing. Like now, I feel like right, I'm actually this is like an ideal setup. This is where I go for it, kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
So yeah,
definitely. I completely understand where you're coming from on that one. And it's what you'll find with it as well is all these extra ideas just start flowing.
yeah,
And it's like the idea, the thing I would probably advise to give you is write it all down at the very start, because I came up with so many ideas when I first started into this room, and I haven't done half of them.
yeah,
Podcast was one of the ideas, and it's probably the one that I've stuck with because I feel like I enjoy it the most. But there was loads of ideas that came out, particularly YouTube wise. YouTube is where really I want to focus my attention. I love Twitch. Twitch has been amazing. But I feel like um I feel like Twitch is. I mean, I try not to go into it too much, but I feel like Twitch is kind of declining a little bit. And YouTube is realistically on the up, and that's where I kind of want to be the most. That's where I want to try and grow more, and that's where I see personally my future going forward. I might stream
yeah,
every now and then.
absolutely.
Yeah, I might stream every now and then on Twitch, but YouTube for me, I mean, like there's so many. I think someone pointed this out to me. There's so many people that live of content creation on YouTube solely that you've never heard of.
Yeah, yeah,
That was the bit that sold it to me. There was so many people that like that maybe get 100,000 subscribers that you don't know of,
yeah,
and they're living the dream that way. So that was the thing that kind of sold it to me as well. Was that's where I want to push YouTube, the main. And once I'll get things a little bit more settled, once I'm in the job a little bit more, I'll start streaming on YouTube a little bit more. It's a platform that's definitely growing. I think it's still going to take time. It's not where Twitch is right now, and I'll be honest with you, it could take quite a while for it to get to Twitch's stage. But the base is there. There's so many people on YouTube that it's mad, and they eventually I think they'll change the mindset of people just going onto YouTube just for videos, and they'll go in there for live streams and stuff like that as well, which is the
yeah.
plan
I hope
eventually.
they do. I hope they do.
I mean, have you any plans of eventually moving from Twitch, or you think you'll always be on
Well,
Twitch?
in an ideal world, I'd want them to be hand in hand. So, like,
Yeah.
streaming wise, like Twitch, I don't see myself. I mean, again, it depends what YouTube and stuff do, but as of right now, Twitch 100% would say keep streaming as much as possible, like we are.
Mhm.
But it would be nice, yeah, like to have YouTube alongside. It doesn't even have to be streams. Like
I
it
have to
could
say as
literally
well,
be,
Twitch has been amazing with the fact that the watch along opportunity that
yeah,
they've
yeah.
given you. I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, like Twitch, they don't get everything right, but they do, it is, what I'll say is, if you're just starting out and like you like streaming and you want to make videos or whatever, obviously, if you've got the time, try and do YouTube and Twitch. But I would say it's easier to get to a certain point, and by easier, I don't mean it's actually easy, but easier to get to a certain point on Twitch than it is to get to a certain point on YouTube,
Yeah, hundred
from my
percent.
experience anyway.
No,
But
I get that completely.
further down the line, you'd
Yeah,
want to grow on YouTube more than Twitch, if that makes sense. Like
yeah,
it's a weird one. Like they do definitely go hand in hand.
yeah. No, I get that completely. And it's I think one of the appeals for me was the fact that there's communities that you build on Twitch that you just don't yet build on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just different types. It's just
Yeah.
literally different types of community here.
Yeah, and obviously, you've always got that loyal core that will go follow you no matter what you do. So that's always great to know as well.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I'm starting a cult today. No, I'm joking.
I mean, we were talking about your OnlyFans earlier.
Oh yeah, well, you've ruined the surprise.
Oh,
God damn it!
One job.
well, so guys, a secret announcement for us on this podcast. You've made it this far into it.
An exclusive.
Oh, ideal. And I'll touch on before we look to kind of round out the podcast. We'll kind of look at last little bit, which is kind of what kind of things do you do outside of content creation? What kind of things do you do? That helps you switch off. What helps you? Any other hobbies? I know. Obviously, you're a Newcastle fan.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's
Which
on
has
the
only
up, isn't it?
It's only recently been fun, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, outside of streaming, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people I talk about what we do off stream. Obviously, beforehand, like back in the day, before having like a girlfriend and stuff, it's different. Like obviously, I do a lot of things now, like with my girlfriend, like go lots of trips and stuff like that I love doing. In terms of actually like switching off, it's weird because the only things I was saying this in Jim's stream the other day, actually, like the only thing now that I've actually found is like if we go say like to a spa trip or something, I never thought I was going to be someone that was like, oh yeah, I want to go on a spa trip. Never even thought about it, but I went on one, and it's actually amazing. Like it's the one place, the one type of place where I can genuinely be like feel relaxed. Because I thought I was like already relaxed as a person, I just chilled, laid back, but I actually didn't realize like it's incredible. So if I'd say like one place, it would be like a spa environment, like just like treatments at the pool, sauna and stuff like that. That's the one place where I can properly switch off.
That's fair.
Otherwise, I wouldn't say there's really anything else. Like I'm pretty laid back as it is.
There's your thumbnail. Axe in a spa.
Oh, there you go. I'll do it. I'll put my hands up and lean back for you.
Get a towel
There
in
you
your
go.
head and everything,
There you go. You'd have
Some
one there.
cucumbers over your eyes.
You should have one.
Oh.
Just with a headset on in the spot. Take it with me. It doesn't leave my head.
Oh dear, that's an image, isn't it? I mean, like, I can't say I've ever been to a spa.
Yeah, I haven't been to one either.
No, but this honestly, when I say this, like, it's weird to talk about it because literally, up until last year, I was of the point of like, I don't ever need to go to one. Like, who cares? Like, if I want to go for a swim, I'll do this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I went to one, and maybe it was just credit to the spa that we went to, but it was just like the actual just atmosphere and everything. Like, it's just so relaxed. Like, it's just that, and then on top of it, you've got good food and stuff. Like, it's bliss. It is bliss.
That's nice. Well, on that one, that note there. I mean, without that little slip up, I think we'll end the podcast. Axe, you have been phenomenal to have on. Thank you very much for taking the time. Jim, it's always great to have you here. It's always good.
Yeah,
to
Is
have
it
you.
though?
Whoa,
Is it?
hang on a
Whoa.
second.
No,
we-
I'm joking.
We've got Twitch beef here. The boxing. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
They're both the same height. There we go.
Oh yeah. There we go. Good matchup.
Yeah. We'll
A
get,
leather ass, I will.
yeah. Listen, that'll be the halftime entertainment at the charity match.
Oh,
You
Jesus
can be
Christ.
you can be the ring girl. Get you in a tongue.
me with a boob tube on, aye.
Yeah,
I like troops walking around with his board.
Oh, dearie me, man. Well, that wasn't what I was expecting to hear at the end of the podcast. But yeah, anyway, team, Axe's links will be in the description below. Same with Jim's as well. Please do check him out as well. Obviously, amazing content creator, primarily on Twitch. I mean, you're live pretty much every day, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I aim to be at least six days a week.
Six days a
But
week.
obviously, games and stuff, depending on what's going on. But yeah, aim to be most days. Yeah.
Happy days. But yeah, make sure that you do check him out there. Obviously, check out James as well. Another phenomenal content creator as well in these alright at F1. So make sure you check him out there. And also, if you are new around here, please do consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and leave a comment. What do you think of the podcast? And make sure you like it as well. And if you are listening to this on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, your Grand's TV, make sure that you do follow it because it does all help out. And on that note, adios team. Catch us in the next one.